Hello designers and welcome back. In this module, you're going to be learning about data visualizations in Adobe Illustrator. Now we have what we call the graph tool in Adobe Illustrator, and we use the graph tool to create data visualizations. Okay, so data visualizations can come very handy when you want to visualize your data or present data in a graphically pleasing way. And this skill can find importance not just in the design world but also in other fields of life, okay, like accounting, like statistics, and so on and so forth. So you're learning a very vital skill here. Okay, now we're going to start with the common preset like I always do, and then in order to start you have to come here to this tool. Okay, you're going to see it, you're probably going to see it on this tool. That's this first one, this column graph tool. Okay, and the shortcut is J. Now if you are not on the advanced tools, you won't see it. Okay, so when we click basic, you see that it's not here, right? So it's an advanced tool according to Adobe Illustrator. So come here and click advanced and you're going to see the tool here. Okay, now if you click and hold, you see all types of graphs, okay, which you can use to visualize your data. Okay, but we're going to be covering just 3 types, and you can of course just go and see the rest for yourselves. Actually, they're not something too complex. Once you understand how one works, you basically will understand how every other one will work. Okay, so I'm just going to come and click on the pie graph here, and this one enables us to create a pie chart. Okay, it enables us to create a pie chart, and if you just come down to your artboard and drag and release, you then see that you have a pie chart, and you also have this spreadsheet where you can type in your data. Okay, so for this one, let's just make here to be let's give it the name Facebook. Okay, so let's assume we are creating a data that has Facebook, Instagram, okay, and Twitter, and maybe WhatsApp. Okay, and then for this place now, we now have the values, right? Let's say we have 30, and here we have 25, and here we have 23, and here we have 20. Okay, and we now click OK. We can see that immediately it creates a graph for us based on these values which we've put. Okay, then now we have WhatsApp with this okay, and I think this guy with this, and this guy with this, and this guy with this. Facebook is the biggest, of course, and you can see that the graph for Facebook, or the space for Facebook, is bigger than all the others. So basically that's how it creates our graph. Okay, and depending on the values and or depending on the data we have, we can have multiple data. We can have maybe another row of let me try having another row of data. So if you click, you just put, and so let's click OK, and now you see that we now have 2. Okay, we now have 2 sets of data. So we have basically 2 pie charts. Okay, now we can just delete everything here, delete, so that we have 1. Then we have some features here. For this one, we are choosing the cell styles, and we are choosing number of decimals. Okay, decimal points. Okay, we have 2 digits here. We have column width 7 digits. Okay, and we can revert to the previous version. This, then we can transpose. Okay, they call it transpose column stroke row. Okay, so it basically changes the way the whole thing looks. Okay, we can go back to our normal one, and then we have this one where we can actually import data. We can import data files. Okay, and use the data directly from the file. That's basically the features you have with this graph tool. Okay, with this graph tool. Now there are different types of graph too. So when we just close it now and we come to our properties panel, we see that we have what they say quick actions, right? Now we have graph type. When we click here, we see that now we are able to choose the different graph types. We can choose this column, and it's going to display this data for us in this graph type. We can choose another one, maybe column stacks, and it's going to display the data for us like that. So you see, basically these are the types of graphs, the types of graph tools, okay? And now you see how all of them work. So I'm just going to teach you how to edit a few of them, and basically when you learn how to edit a few of them, you definitely know how to edit all the others. So you can see how all of them work, right? We have this one, which is the line graph, okay? And we have this other one, which should be the area, I think. Okay, some of these ones require more data to be able to show something. Okay, and we're going to actually create an area graph. So we have many other ones, okay, and so on and so forth. So let's choose the pie again. You can see that as we choose, we have other options depending on the type of graph you choose, okay, or the type of graph you choose. So we choose the pie. It should be one of the most simplest ones. Then we have some options here under style, add drop shadow, and click OK. You see that we've now added a drop shadow here, okay, though the drop shadow is not smooth, so we can remove our drop shadow. You can see it's now out. And then we have some other options. You can check all these ones on your own, okay? And if you click here, we'll still come back to our data where we can edit and change if we want to change. And we have this option here, which is the recolor. So if you click here, you are then brought to the recolor artwork tool. Remember the tool when we were looking at colors and patterns? Yeah, so this one now will enable us now add color to our graph. Now we can immediately choose the preset, just like this web color group, and we can just kind of keep playing around with the colors, okay, to see which one we like. And if we see the one we like, we okay, and yeah, we accept the changes. Now we can see that immediately Adobe Illustrator has created this basic pie graph for us, okay, and basically that's what you get, okay, but definitely there is a way we can go even further. Now if you right click, and sorry, do not even right click, just select the guy, go to objects and ungroup. If you ungroup, it's going to tell you that you won't be able to make changes to your graph. If you click OK, now we don't see our bounding box, and it means we can make further changes. We can further customize our chart to make it look even better. We can add gradients. We can just keep on grouping, because there are a lot of groups here. Ungroup, and ungroup. Okay, now we see that we can select them, right? We can select them basically, and then work on our data, right? Sorry, work on our graph, right? Okay, we can even give them maybe a gradient, maybe kind of do some little edits. Okay, maybe give it the background, maybe change the font style, the font type, arrange center back, okay, stuff like this. Stuff like maybe just with a different color, background color. Okay guys, so that's it for some of the things we can do with this. You can give it a different font style, okay, a different font and different font styles, and so on and so forth, guys. Let's see Clash Display. And Clash Display is also a free font which you can download and use. Okay, so you see, you can create things as simple as this with this chart. Let's try to look at other charts and see if we come up with something good. So let's look at the line graph first. So let's just come and drag and create And for the line graph, we would want to kind of have two things we are comparing. It's just two things which you're comparing. So for this one, we won't have anything, we just delete. And for this one, we will have Facebook, Twitter, and then Instagram and WhatsApp. Then for this other one, we now have maybe the months: January, February, March, April, May, okay, June, July, and so on and so forth. And then we now have the data here, okay, July. And then we now have the main data here, so we might have 30. Let's just give them random figures, guys. I don't have time to start giving figures that make sense. Okay, just random stuff. Okay, so let's click OK and see what we now have. You see, we now have a line graph. I think we have one figure that is outrageous. That's what's causing this hike here. Okay, this is it. So it's supposed to be 45. And we click OK. Now we see we now have a more organized line line graph. Now we can from here on start kind of maximizing our stuff, right? Kind of editing our stuff rather, kind of maybe on group, maybe recolor. Okay, we can even recolor, give it a color. Okay, already you can see what's happening. We can even change the graph type. Okay, let's try out the graph types. Let's see for this one. They call it scatter. I'm not going to use you. So we have other graph types. We have this one. Okay, this should be the area graph type. We have the line which we looked at. We have this other one, the stacked bars. Okay, so this is how the data will be visualized here. Let's try to see how they will look on the pie charts, right? You see this is how they will look under the pie chart. And, let's look at the column. This is how they will look under columns. Okay, so let's see if we can we really do not need to do any changes here. Let's try to add a shadow and see. Okay, you can see what's happening. So basically, guys, you see how you are now able to edit all of this data, right? All of these types of graphs, right? And then come up with something amazing. So already, if you are not looking for something really graphical, these graphs already are ready to be used. Okay, so you can use them already to visualize data that do not require high graphics. Okay, they have color, they have the right data values, and so on and so forth. So that's how to go about creating this stuff. So you can group and start to kind of tweak things around. Okay, so it's good that you've learned how the whole graph thing works. Now in the next video, we're going to create graphs and try to add the graphical vibe to them so that they look better. And everyone is happy. Okay, now that's what we're going to do in the next video. So see you in the next videos. Bye.